The child is occupied. Alright. You guys wanted to see a tour of the office / trophy room. So here it is. We should start on this wall because this is my favorite wall.
Okay.
Alright. We'll start on this side. Then we'll work our way around.
Okay.
So the goal here, this is actually just filler. I want to make corner shelves here and all these trophies are going to go in the corner all nice, but having a cast, I can't cut and do much carpentry at the moment.
What's the owl mean?
Well, owl's just filler for now, but that is a painting when I was in Peru that I just thought was cool. That's going to eventually go in the shop. Right here we have a little very quick shadow box of some of X Games stuff. Not finished, but again, just filler for the time being. Trophy case. This is more of a cool trophy than anything. That's just a first place pit bike race that I won. This is the Mint 400, which was a desert race, like an off-road truck race, but they brought back motorcycles for the first time since the 70s. This was 2019, right before I moved back to Alabama. I did the Harley hooligan class, and I won. This one, and there's a plaque. This one right here is my first trophy ever in BMX. Yeah, that was like 1989.
Well, it says on the thing down there.
No, the year's not on it.
Oh.
It just says Lagoon Park BMX first place.
Look at that thing.
My finger. This one is the 2009 Best Crash Award from the World Cup season. Not a trophy we set goals for, but they did it anyway, so it's kind of funny. This one right here is Perth, Australia, 2003 World Champs. That was my last amateur year. I was 16 years old, the 17 plus men class.
How are you in it if it was 17 plus?
UCI rules or whatever age you turn the year of. A Hell on Wheels motorcycle event, that was third place in a flat track race. Hell on Wheels, I think that was another Harley event. An Elite Men, third place. Right here is my very first Rider of the Year in 2000 in Alabama. I had a reason for pulling this out. We'll get to that one. First year of Pump Track World Championships. I didn't do any qualifiers to do World Champs that year. Decided to do it last minute, and I flew in and did a last chance qualifier, which was the day before World Champs, which qualified you into World Champs. And then I'll fast forward. And then the following day for Pump Track World Champs, I ended up third overall. So that was the year before UCI got involved and started doing the rainbow jersey. This one's more just Willow wants more orange shoes. Akron, Ohio, national this year. They did a soapbox derby.
Memories.
Third, yeah. This little Buddha was my first Elite Men World Champs 2008 in China. I didn't end up doing good at all. Flew in last minute. I was winning ABA Nationals that year, and I had someone that just really believed in me, supported me, and he literally flew me in like I think I landed the day of practice, the worst preparation to fly across the world. But I just like having souvenirs from trips, especially if I don't come home with a trophy. I just found that at some gift shop, so yeah, it's a memory from my first Elite World Championships. First place Elite Men at a race down in Curacao, I think they say it. This is from New Zealand World Champs. Was in the main, ended up World 7 in Elite Men on that one. Actually got taken out in the first turn in podium position, so that was that one stings a little bit. That one, yeah, that's the one I was riding really good at that race. Pittsburgh, South Park always gives cool trophies. This is Willow's first trophy. She went out. We signed her up for her first balance bike race out at Oak Mountain, and she just pitched a fit, didn't want to ride. I gave her a trophy anyways. And I don't support participation awards, but she loves this little zombie trophy.
She had to put it with Dad's trophies.
Yeah. This is a cool metal This is from a pump track win out in California at Snow Summit. Cups. This is my first USA BMX, well, ABA title. Pro Cruiser 2010. Then obviously 2022 Vet Pro #1. These are USA National Champ medals. 2016 bronze, 2009 bronze, 2010 bronze, 2013. That's a gold medal. That's over there. I don't know why I have 2 gold medals, but over here we have Crankworks medals, Rotorua bronze, Innsbruck bronze, Whistler gold, Whistler silver. Down here, XBR Championship Men Australian Series in 2010 that I did. This one is the 2021, last year's Golden Crank Pro of the Year. That's actually a very special one to me, that one. That's kind of like, so up top when I talked about the Rider of the Year from 2000. And now, obviously, Rider of the Year 21 years later. The People's Choice from you guys just reminded me that I'm inspiring you guys, or you guys are stoked on what I do.
That you're doing something right.
Yeah, that kind of stuff actually means more to me than almost pretty much any of these, to be honest. A lot of people haven't seen this one. This is a Nike clip shoe they did around between the 2008 2012 Olympics. So yeah, that was my last set of those. We would break them all the time, but this is my last good set, so obviously needed to keep it.
Did they sponsor it or something?
Nike was a sponsor of the USA Cycling program. They also sponsored like Donnie Robinson, Mike Day, a couple of the guys that had like legit Nike deals. I just got hooked up with the shoes. That was it. This one is the Vans clip shoe. Not one you really can find nowadays. They weren't that good, but we were all stoked on them at the time. The cleat actually stuck out too far from the sole. That's what all this shoe goo stuff is. That way it would kind of thicken it up on the pedal. Next, we have Louisville Sluggers from, this is 22 win, and that one was from my Louisville win in 21. Up here, another very special one. This is another Rider of the Year. This was from 2010. This is the BMX Plus magazine Rider of the Year, which was super cool. The article even says something about they were surprised that they just didn't expect Barry Knowles to be the one to win it that year, which was cool. And I only recently found that. I actually forgot about this, had it tucked away, and only just had that framed. You kind of appreciate these kind of things the older you get. Music City National win. Won both days here, but I gave my mom the other trophy. X Games. This one goes with that shadow box over there. When you get invited to X Games, you get a skateboard, you get all these, a bunch of one-off stuff that only the athletes get, which is cool. So yeah, got my first X Games skateboard for the wall. This one, the guitar, 2008. This was my very first Elite Men main event win right here. I grew up as an NBL kid. For the kids who don't know, before USA BMX, it was 2 different sanctions. It was ABA BMX and NBL BMX, American Bicycle Association and National Bicycle League. ABA was more of the West Coast division, and NBL was more of the East Coast. So it was cool to win here because Nashville, Music City was actually my first national ever outside of the state of Alabama as like a beginner. And then years later, obviously, then went and got my first elite win on that same track, which was really cool. This is the first year they started giving away Les Paul's guitars. They did that for a few years, and then they obviously went to those because I can imagine that probably got expensive after a few years.
I feel like you have to acknowledge the belt buckle thing.
Belt buckle is another Barry Nelson, just an older BMX racer. I guess his nickname was Belt Buckle, so they put mine on there, which is kind of a bummer because it wasn't my nickname. I wasn't really into it, and it was my first Elite Men check that wrote that on there. So, but yeah. Checks. These are mainly just Vet Pro checks. Dirt jump contest at the Riveter in North Carolina that I won. Third play. I think that's a dirt jump event at Snow Summit. Vet Pro checks. That's a wrap on that wall. This was another Elite Men NBL win. I have one. This is from, I have a Christmas. I won Christmas Classic one year too. That's ROC win last year, vet title. Bentonville Mountain Bike Festival up there. That was second place in an enduro race. These belts, these are from Oldsmar. Won both days there. So they gave cool wrestling belts. A little different than just your normal trophies. We'll touch on this one before we go on this wall. This right here is, we all know the movie Rad. This is a signed photo of Crew Jones. You don't not get Crew Jones' autograph. This wall is my cover wall. You'll see we have one empty one.
Manifesting.
There's one cover I really want to get. It's actually a throwback cover, and that is its spot right there. This one is Derby City. This was actually a digital cover. It wasn't an actual cover. Until I get another printed cover, this will hold its place. WPS cover shot. Over here we have BMX Plus, which was one of the biggest BMX magazines in my time. So to finally get a BMX Plus cover was a huge goal checked off. Up top, this is my very first cover, BMX Today. This is actually at Nashville from the Music City race that I won that weekend. Cover on BMX Nation, that was a magazine that didn't last very long. Physique 3D, this is when I was sponsored by an energy bar / supplement company. Yeah, got on this like fitness magazine. This Pull magazine is the Olympic Trials edition for 2012, which is very motivational to see. Thinking like that's gonna be the 3, and obviously I didn't make it work. But it was still awesome to be on that cover, so. Let's move to the final wall. This is my favorite wall because there's just a lot of really good memories from it. Up top is my very first AVA Elite Men win. Albuquerque, I actually doubled that weekend. I one day won, and then I was winning cruiser, and then I cramped up going into the last turn, so I ended up getting past and got second. So I almost doubled that weekend, which would have been really cool. Only weekend I actually doubled in Elite as well. Yeah, one Saturday, one Sunday. Dixieland, semi-local track, won AA there. South Jordan, Utah, Great Salt Lake National. This one is the Disney Cup. Yeah, that was probably my best Elite Men year, was 2008. Won 5 nationals that year. We went into Grands like a nearly 4-way tie for the title, and I was the first one to choke. And that was just some pressure I did not know how to handle. I started winning these races when I was living in Florida. I was just riding, having a good time, enjoying myself. The goal was just to be fast, right? I remember I won like 2. I think when I won the 3rd one, someone mentioned, dude, you're going to be up for the title. And then like the points conversations. I never even looked at points. And then we started talking points and the mental game. Because I went into Disney Cup, the last race of the year, knowing if I could get a couple more wins, I'd have a better shot at the title. Choked on Friday, choked on Saturday, just completely got in my own head and just literally ruined the weekend. By day 3, it was kind of like, F it, I don't even care anymore. I was so just fed up with myself and went out there, and I think I went 1-2-1 in the mains, and I rode awesome. Just my brain was clear, and I learned a lot about myself that year, which was crazy. I just mentally couldn't handle the pressure.
And now, if we talk about points, he does not like it.
Yeah, I don't even, like this year with the Vet Pro title, like I didn't look, and I knew it because I knew how many wins I had. I just needed to go out there and know I just needed to ride for myself and just perform. And if I perform, then everything happens as it should. 2010, when I won the Pro Cruiser title, which was actually the last Pro Cruiser title ever given out. We ended up doing a halfway through the year next year, and that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, current Pro Cruiser reigning champion still, 11 years later, 12 years later. 2005, this was my very first A-Pro win. Got a bunch of seconds, bunch of thirds, ended up winning the very last race, which was Black Mountain, going into Tulsa. Didn't even get to stand on the podium because I remember I was going to miss my flight, so I had to leave. Went to Grands that year, made the main. They didn't give A-Pro like a title, but after that race, I ended up finding out I was first in the points rankings. Not something I thought much of when I was younger, but looking back, it was like kind of the perfect way to go into the AA class. I had 1 full year as A-Pro, earned my money at the last race, These are just leftover 9.5 hoodies and a couple Southern Class stuff for my bike racks. So if you guys want a shirt, link in the description below. You can order what's left. Last ones. These are my biggest memories. And these first two, they've just been tucked away in a box. I never even really thought much about them until, again, you get older, you start kind of realizing things. And this is such like the beginning part of my journey. So I thought I should frame these. I need to put these up because this room is such like my motivation room. I sit on my stationary bike. I do my stretches and warm-ups in the morning and remind me of the journey that we've had so far up these last 25 years racing BMX, and it really continues to push me to keep doing it because there's no reason I have to stop yet. I think most BMXers out there, we're told that BMX is a kid's sport, or you're really quick to get asked, like, how long can you do that? I've always been asked that, and here I am at 36 years old still racing BMX as a living, which is pretty cool, and it's because of everything in this room and kind of developed who I am. So anyways, first up is 2003 Worlds. We talked about that over there. This was 2008, 2007, 2008. I was pretty much living in Florida. Florida is one of the best states for BMX. They have a huge program. They have their own series. They have always had a really big pro series. So to win that one was always kind of a special one, especially being an East Coast guy. 2010 was the Pro Cruiser win. 2012 Olympic Trials Jersey. Olympic Trials. If you guys don't follow that one, it's the main 8 U.S. hopefuls to go into the next Olympic Games. Only 3 riders get on the team. One had already been selected, which was David Herman. Second choice went into trials, which was the 8 guys. You go through rounds, eventually getting down to the final 4. So you had one final of 4 riders. I made the final 4 in that. Connor Holshotted made a move getting myself in the second. It just wasn't a smart move. Came up short on the second straightaway and never ended up finishing the lap. But it was in the final 4. Was proud of that moment. After that, there's a lot of stress and mentals that go into Olympics. I think I just kind of wanted to step away and start dabbling in more mountain bike stuff after 2012. Just needed a year to refresh everything. I've done a little bit of mountain bike stuff here and there throughout the years. 2010, I went to national champs. Won all my rounds, got in the finals. A dude hit me in the first turn. I ended up third. I think that's what one of those medals would have been. Then came back in 2013, ended up winning national champs. So I got my first U.S. national champs jersey, which is when you see the American flag sleeve. And then I didn't race any more slalom after that, so I never actually got to run the sleeve that I always wanted. Next up this is actually a combo. This is my jersey from the 2016 Olympic trials, but it's got a medal from 2014. National champs is always a special one to me. I always wanted that American flag sleeve. 2014, I made a move in the last turn, going in from second to first. I saw the finish line in first. I thought it was my year to have my first BMX national title. Connor Fields passed me at the line, so I got second. 2 years later, for 2016 trials, went to that race and I executed exactly how I needed to. It was the Chula Vista Rio replica track, and I ended up second behind Corbin Sherraw. So that's why I use this silver. Those 2 results are 2 second places, but they were really special to me, so I wanted to put that silver medal in with that jersey. Corbin ended up going to the Olympics, but I kind of knew my place, honestly. I was very happy with that second because he deserved that. I was kind of dabbling in other stuff, and so yeah, that was actually one of my last Supercross. I think I did national champs one more time the following year, but that is when I kind of started stepping away from elite men BMX racing, actually. Yeah, it was that race. Never really thought about it. After 2016, same kind of thing as 12. I needed a break. I say that like it was my last one. I had no intentions on stepping away from elite BMX racing. I just needed a break. I was doing a lot of mountain bike, freestyle stuff, just pursuing other goals that I always wanted to kind of go after my whole career. I always had a really freestyle passion. That's where the X Games thing came from. after 2016 is when I really started pushing the freestyle stuff. So I was kind of starting at the bottom of the pole. So fast forward from 2016 to 2019, I made X Games. I was doing Harley flat track stuff. This desert race came up. We were in Prim, Nevada, right outside of Vegas for that desert race. Drove out there by myself, met up with people. I'm in the desert world with my Harley, my custom dirt bike Harley I just built with zero experience in racing motocross or racing desert racing. I always rode, but I was not a dirt bike rider. I ended up winning that race. It was like 80 something miles through the desert. I think I was on the bike for like 6 hours, completely tacoed me. Pretty much stepped out on a high on that one. And right after that, I ended up moving out of California, back east to Alabama, in the middle of it, getting prepared for X Games. Yeah, that was just a very gnarly time in my life, the first 6 months of 2019. That and X Games was definitely a career highlight to walk away from. 2022 Vet Pro title. You guys have seen the story on that. I use this jersey that's torn up because I was not about to give up that title. We went, we executed. We probably had one of the most clear-minded races for the whole season with an injury. We just went in autopilot. Adrenaline kicks in, determination kicks in. You don't even see the other stuff going on. And then 4 days later, I went into surgery, had my hand fixed.
A lot of memories.
Yeah, a lot of memories. And that was cool. I think that was the first time I've actually soaked in all that. So, yeah. Hope you guys like that. That's definitely some memories. And we're not stopping. Pins and casts come off next Wednesday. Houston is 3 weeks after that. So, we'll be seeing you all soon. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.